Hey guys, welcome back to another Lumber Tycoon 2 video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get modded wood. In case if you guys didn't know, this used to be a glitch where you could take wood and put it through two glitch sawmills like this kind of sawmill, and it used to make modded wood, long planks like that. If you didn't know, they did patch it, but I'm going to show you today how I do it. If you can tell, I do it. So this is spookwood. It's a very rare wood. The only reason I do it these ones sometimes is because they're really big. Otherwise, I do it like that. So I'm going to show you simply how I mod wood. It's very simple as long as you know what you're doing. So I'm going to show you an example with an elm tree, since it's one of the easier ones to mod for it being so big and for it being a prime example. The server is lagging a little bit, so bear with me. Alright, so we're going to first chop down the elm tree. Alright, so what you always want to do is, whenever you chop down a tree, when you're trying to do the Dupe method, is everything above the axe cut can dupe. Everything below the axe cut cannot dupe. Now, it's the opposite when you get to the end of the branches. For instance, if I cut this off, which I'm going to for showing you, when I cut this off, server's lagging a little bit. Someone's loading a basin, I bet you. Yeah, they were loading a basin over there. Anyways, when I cut this off, now, when I try to dupe this piece will not dupe. And to show that, I'm going to put it right here to show that to you. And then, but the rest of this will still, due to that not being the issue. So, I'm going to actually go ahead and chop a couple more of these off. And like I said, none of these will dupe since I'm cutting them off, because of the reason being that they're the end pieces. And the reason I'm cutting them off is because you want this to be as flat as you can get it. Kind of like how when you used to put it in the sawmill. I'm going to say that this is flat enough. So, this glitch works with the wood drop-off right there. So you want to get the tree back into the wood drop-off, which it's not wanting to cooperate. Hold on a second. So you want to get the tree into the wood drop-off area, and when you do that, then you can do this glitch. Alright, this is starting to work. Alright, so once you get the tree over here, for instance, let's say you want to dupe this. This will work with any tree, by the way. I do it with spookwood, I do it with dark oak, I do it with all sorts of wood that I need, like a big abundance of, that I don't want to take an hour planing. So, as long as you're decently good at this. So, what you want to do when you do this glitch is you want to sell this piece of the tree. You want to sell the trunk of the tree, alright? So, you want to get the trunk in here, and you want to sell the trunk. After you sell the trunk, you don't want to cut here, you don't want to cut here, you don't want to cut here. Making tiny marks like this won't hurt the tree. But you don't want to cut anywhere else after you sell this piece. You can cut the end pieces off, just no problem at all. But the reason being is, if you cut, for instance, this branch right here, all of this after this piece, all of this will not dupe. For the reason being that it is above your axe cut and will not dupe. So like everything above your axe cut will dupe as long as you sell the piece before it. So for instance, if I were to chop this off and I sold this piece and then I used a different piece, the rest of this would dupe, yes. But like I said, for instance, most trees you always want to use the trunk. So, alright, so let's get to work. So you want to get the trunk in here. Hold on a second. You want to sell the trunk like that. Perfect. So, the game likes to make it so you can't move logs after a certain point for some reason. If you just tap it with an axe, in case you didn't know this, it will actually let you move that log again. So, after you sell that trunk, what you want to do is you want to find your next branch. So, for instance, I'm going to try to use this one. Now, I chose a bad tree, I guess, because it's all entangled with each other. So, bear with me as I try to separate it. This might go badly. Alright, So I got that one separated. I want to use this one right here. Alright, almost got it separated. Alright, so usually they're not entangled like this. That's more of like end times trees. But I guess this one just wanted to be tangled up. So when you go to plane this, you want a small piece to plane for it to all work. So you want to sell a branch up till you get an end piece like this. So we're going to do it this one. So with selling it, obviously you don't get the pieces that you sell for the dupe, which is the risk of doing it for spook trees, sinister trees, and end times. So you want to sell that. Then you get these 2 branches. This one will dupe just fine, so you can pull that one out. Actually, we're going to use this one. This one will dupe just fine as well, so that one we can keep out. So we're going to take this. We're going to use this piece for the dupe. So we're going to pull this out in a second. So we're going to pull this out. Pull this out. Alright, so now this is our magic piece right here, guys. So this piece is going to be the one that will do the dupe. So, remember that tiny piece we cut off in the beginning? So all that wood right there, I will, as you know, when you plane a piece of wood, not all of it disappears. All of that will disappear. That piece right there will not disappear for the reason that I cut it off. Same with all the small branches that are over there if you see them. So when you get this over to your base, after you go ahead and do that trick where you sell the trunk, you sell part of a branch until you get to the end of branch. Basically what happens is the game thinks that you sold this part of the tree or something. I don't know how the physics work or how the code is written for this. But basically when you put this into your sawmill, it glitches the game out and planes everything that's still, every part of that tree that's still in the game except for that part that we cut off. So this sawmill should work. It might be too small. Alright guys, funny story. This sawmill's too small. So we're gonna actually, so when you get your branch, there's a couple of things to look at it for. First of all, it doesn't matter how long you really wait, but you want your branch to have both ends covered if you can. You don't want to be able to see the interior of the wood. Same thing like if you were to do with different types of wood. You don't want to see the wood. We're gonna use this sawmill, I guess. Now, I'm doing it this way because I don't need this wood, so I'm going to actually throw off my base when I leave. But when you sell this small piece, you're expecting a small segment, maybe that big, right? Like this. Now, if you can see, I can't grab that. We're going to let that be for a second. You can see it is growing. I'm going to go show you something. So you see that wood still there, which means that didn't dupe. But if you go and look at all that other wood I left there, those huge branches and everything, you will see that it all disappeared. It's not even there anymore. And the reason being is because it is all right there now. So what the game thinks is that you just planed all of that together. So what it will do is it will dupe all of this into one huge plank, and from that, after it's done, you can go ahead and chop it up, smaller pieces, use it for your builds, use it for whatever. It's very simple to do. This one's going to probably be 3 times this size since it was a huge tree I did it to. But it's that simple. It's not rocket science. It works very nice. It helps you if you're building a big house. I used to use it on this base, if you can tell with this house. I used to use it for the brown wood and all sorts of stuff. But it's very simple. It's very nice. It gets you a lot of wood very quick. But yeah. So this is how you dupe wood in 2022. That's how I got this huge... So I did the same exact thing for that, and I got this huge piece today. And it is all one piece. Same thing with these ones. Now, sometimes you can't always do it, so I get these small pieces too. But, like I said, you can get very big pieces of wood out of it. I do suggest you cut them up into smaller pieces for the reason that they do tend to lag. But if you guys need to know how to dupe wood, this is how you guys dupe wood. Thank you for all watching. Like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want to do. See you guys all in another video.